Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back again with another review for Maîtresse d'un homme marié. And today we're going to talk about episode 12. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification thingy. Episode 12 starts with a scene where you see Raki lying on the hospital bed and Birame is visiting her. It's such a big flex because Birame found his heart and he's basically telling Raki that he always wanted to have a little sister and that she should not worry, that he will do everything to make sure nothing will happen to her. But of course there's this question that keeps being repeated throughout the whole series, which is this worth it to hide with her husband, to involve her husband and be in a random village? Then Mère enters, and what is crazy is that Birame calls Raki's mom Yai boy, a term of endearment for a child, usually a son, to call their mom. It really is a weird flex because I did not think that they would like each other. But anyways, Mère expresses that she's scared and that she's tired, that everything that has happened is crazy and that she is shocked by everything. However, Birame is reassuring her and telling her that she needs to be thankful that Raki returned in peace, whole, and that he is going to make sure nothing will happen to her. He tells her as well that every problem has a solution, and he actually tells her to be strong and not to give up, and then he leaves. Then Anita talks with one of their colleagues and he is telling her that they got Raki. And she's like, who's Raki? Well, she used to work here. And he's basically just gossiping. While Anita is actually quite worried because first you have Sheikh in prison and now Raki's situation because she's also going to be in prison because she murdered Bakary Sanya. Then Birame comes in and he's like, you know what I hate the most is men who gossip. And he sends him away, talks with Anita and tells her, you know what, we need a emergency meeting ASAP. Then we flash into the meeting and Birame is saying to his colleagues that, you know what, yes, Raki got arrested, Sheikh got arrested, however, both cases don't have anything to do with Senegalese. Of course, this woman does not agree because she's like, Birame, that is not true. What has happened is really bad, and you cannot work at a company that has so many scandals. No partner wants to partner with us. Salif is also getting into this conversation, bringing his arguments, and basically everyone there is stating why this is bad for the company and how Birame is wrong with that statement. The conclusion is that someone says that it is not smart to keep Senegalese in the hands of a family, meaning that the person who said it does not want Birame to take over Sheikh. And I think that it was both Anita and Salif who are trying to make arguments as to why there is to be a new leader at the top of Senegalese, because I think both of them want it to be them. However, Birame cuts off Salif immediately. He's like, this is the first and the last time you cut me off. Senegalese's last name is Diagne. Also adds that, you know what, it seems like you understand Wolof, but you know what, we'll keep that for another time. Then we see that Mommy and Djalika are sitting together on a couch, and Mommy is talking to Djalika, telling her that, you know what, you have been avoiding me and what you're doing, there's danger in it, you are only fooling yourself. Djalika, what is it? Talk to me. Djalika then kind of breaks. She's like, you know what, Mommy, I can't do this anymore. However, Mommy does not want to hear that because the other day Djalika and Mommy, they were talking and Djalika was just explaining everything and basically convinced mommy that, you know, what she was doing was the best she could do. And mommy tells her that, and tells her that after that, you cannot tell me that you can't do this anymore. Djalika continues. She's like, you know what? I did my best to take responsibility of my part. But since I got into this marriage, I have not been happy. I have been humiliated. Mommy's like, but why are you questioning all that today? You made a choice. Djalika's like, choice? I'm trapped. I took responsibility for my part. However, he does not take responsibility at all. I just cannot pretend anymore. And eventually, Djalika is like, you know what? We need to find a solution. And Djalika's solution is to actually divorce. Then there's a touchy scene again with Birame, and Birame is taking Amina. He holds her and he's talking to Amina in Wolof and telling her that, you know what, Amina, you are young and you probably don't understand anything that I'm saying, and I know I haven't been an exemplary dad or the best dad in the world. I have had a lot of hurt in my life and I don't want you and Bebe Malik to grow up around all those negative things. God knows that you are my pride and I know you don't understand. However, Amina tells him that, Dad, I do understand. I want to live with you and not with that uncle. And Birame almost cries. Then Birame goes to mommy and Djalika's house and he demands to see Djalika, and before he does, he actually threatens and calls mommy names. And then he's face to face with Djalika and he's asking her, what is it worth it? And he demands to have the kids. However, Djalika's like, why do you keep threatening me? Is this all for a man? Where is the principled Djalika? Do you remember you coming to the office and complaining about what Marieme did to Lala? You are ruining Dalanda's life. It's none of your business. It's my life. Djalika said. What is it about Tairu? I put you through hell, but at least I put you in a house. I wasn't an exemplary husband, however the house was yours. Tairu took advantage of you when you were at your weakest, at the time that you did not even want to live anymore. I will not separate you from your kids. I know how much they mean to you. Amina told me that she doesn't want to see Tairu anymore. And Birame even continues because he even says that, and you know what these kids mean to me. However, Djalika's like, stop harassing me. Yes, you're right. She doesn't want to go back because the situation that we lived in, that the kids lived in, wasn't stable. But it's not a reason for you to use it against me or to compare who's more responsible or not. This is my life and I'm trying to manage. However, Birame puts the biggest threat on there because he's like, you know what? You're gonna have two choices and you know what I'm capable of. However, Djalika's like, volle neig nu dem. Wherever you want to go, let's go. Then you see that Philly is being served by the beautiful Noura at Lala's house. And when Lala comes, she's like, Philly, who told you I live here? But of course, Philly's like, you know what? This is Senegal. It's a small country. There are no secrets. But Lala is like, you know what, Philly? Today, I don't feel like talking. The door is there. I need you to go. Of course, Philly is also like, I did not come here to ask for forgiveness. And Lala has to be like, I have not expected that of you. But Philly continues. You hurt me when you went to Marieme and asked for her forgiveness just because you did not want to go to jail. Lala is like, what did you expect? This is Senegal. Every man for himself. What did you want me to do? Go to prison? I have kids to think of. And then Philly's like, sure, but don't forget that you were the one who dirtied Marieme's name just to have share. But of course, Lala is like, you are playing the devil's advocate. Coming here to defend him. Cher, I can manage my problems. And if I could give him worse than prison, I would do it without a single doubt. He got what he deserved. And then she brings up him beating her and breaking her arm. But Philly doesn't accept it because Philly is like, well, Lala, now you are opening a lot of doors. Don't forget the family he belongs to. You know Mère Diagne? She's not someone who is going to let this go. She even compares her to a volcano. However, Lalla explains to Philly that, you know what? I don't care. This is my life. I chose this. I can manage it. And she tells her that, you know what? In life, people always forget the person who hit first. They only see what the second person does as a reaction. However, Philly is seemingly mature and she's like, you know what, Lalla, whatever you do, be careful. Don't forget that there are a lot of ours, first wives, who are looking up to you and they see you as a reference, as an example. You have the ability to show that sometimes marriage is bad and being divorced is good, but don't forget either that you and Cher, you used to be mburu akso, bread and milk, because they go together. She just, you know, gives her a warning to be careful, and she even ends up saying, you know what, my door is always open. But Lalla has to be petty because she says, I'd rather die. Then Noura comes back and asks her mom why she has been fighting with Tata Philly. Also, I heard dad is in prison. Can you bring me to him so I can live with him and make sure he eats? Of course, Lalla has to ask her daughter, but since when do you feed yourself and are you able to feed other people? But of course, Noura is like, well, people in my class, they have their mom and dad together. Why can't we have what we had before? Of course, Lalla feels guilty about this, but she's projecting. So she gets a little bit mad at Noura and tells her to go to her room and make homework. Then we see that Mère Diagne, Pagé and Dalanda are seated. Mère Diagne is actually pleading with Dalanda and asking for her help. However, Dalanda is reassuring her, telling her that, you know what, I talked to Cher. He told me that he's going to listen to me. He took my advice and I will make sure that everything goes well, but also that she shouldn't worry and that they will survive this. Then Mère Diagne starts to say like, yeah, and you have kids. However, their Pagé actually interrupts her and tells her that, you know what, don't go there because, you know what, Cher trusts her. And also you have to trust that she did her job. She studied for this. This is her job. And she knows better than any of us. And he ends saying that she should also put it in God's hands. Then Birame enters. And as soon as he enters and is seated, Mère Diagne jumps him. What they're discussing at the moment is not something that Birame showed interest in. And she also says that Cher will come back and he will take his place in Seneginja because that is the only thing that you are interested in. And she even accused him that if Cher would die in prison, that it would be Birame's fault. However, Dalanda stops her there because Dalanda is like, no. She's like, Madame Gay, don't say that, because the first time that Cher got with the police, he called me. He is the reason that I am Cher's lawyer. And every single day he did his best to make sure everything is going all right. And he and I used to be friends way back. And it may seem that he's not interested, but he's doing a lot of work. Trust me. And then Birame has yet another sensitive scene and he's like, how you gave birth to Cher is how you gave birth to me. He and I are blood. We are brothers. And yes, you talk bad about me and I'm used to that. You know how much family means to me. And everything that I'm doing is for whatever inheritance that my dad left behind, his legacy. I am working for that. That is all I'm doing it for. And then he lets Dalanda out. Then there's a short scene where you see that Pagé is talking to Mère Diagne, and Pagé is actually just reiterating what Dalanda said, that it's his brother, they are brothers, and he's working on it, and just to make sure that she has her head straight. Then there's a scene with Mommy and Ben. Ben is just like on Mommy. She's like, yeah, and I know that Djalika is living with you because her mom kicked her out. And she's saying that yes, Senegal is small and you get informations everywhere. So when you sleep with her at night, you need to talk some sense into her and make sure that she is going to divorce ASAP. However, Mommy's like, she's an adult. She can do whatever she wants. But of course, Ben always has something to say. She's like, you don't listen. He is the only family I got. If something happens to him, I have nothing. But then she criticizes Mommy because she's like, but you like to eat rice and eat the sauce as well because you are friends with both of them. I need you to talk her out of this marriage because I know Dalanda will not give Tairu a chance. Have you heard me? Of course, Mommy is like, but if Djalika is going to, even if Djalika is going to die, Tairu is going to die with her. But then Ben is like, all right, let's say they both die. What about your friend? But this time she's not talking about Djalika, she's talking about Dalanda, the other one. Or isn't Dalanda your friend? What about the twins? Also, she is in a dangerous state with her pregnancy and her health. Please talk to Djalika. And of course, Mommy's like, alright, no problem. But I don't know if she's actually going to do it. Then Birame finally goes to see Cher. However, Cher is asking one thing, and it's, how is Seneginja? And this is really triggering for Birame because he's like, Cher, how dare you ask about that? Don't you trust me? Why are you always belittling me? I'm so tired of that. No matter how crazy stuff I did, it never affected Seneginja or my work. Then Cher is like, are you trying to give me some moral lessons over here? It's already bad enough that I'm in prison, but of course this is also extra triggering for Birame. You won't leave here. You know what your problem is, Cher? You cannot handle the truth. And at that moment, he slaps a mosquito. And of course, Birame has to say something about that because he's like, you know what? If that's the case, you are going to slap yourself to eternity. And I warned you, from now on, I'm in charge of this family. Whether you want it or not, everyone is going to trust me because you have no choice. I will take matters into my own hands. And that is the end of episode 12 of Maîtresse d'un homme marié. And honestly, even though I'm always looking forward to the next episode, this episode was a bit disappointing because it was a lot of repetition. I mean, the scene with Djalika and Birame about the kids and everything, we had that in the last episode in the bar. The only thing that is new is, for example, Mère Diagne, Pagay, and Dalanda talking. But even there, it was more repetition because Mère Diagne is still projecting how she sees Birame and Cher and their differences. She's still projecting that onto Birame, and the only difference is maybe that there was today someone who stood up for Birame. And the new thing is maybe that Birame finally showed his softer sides with his daughter Amina, and you actually see in this scene that he is quite a family man underneath all that rubbish. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out the comments because if I forget to edit something in this video, I will put it there, and also some, you know, cultural things that we have a lot in Senegal, or some things or phrases that are common in Wolof. See you guys in my next video.